Hey, what's going on, guys? Bob Mentality here with a Bitcoin chart analysis for you. And today is September 6th of 2018. And today I just want to go over some of the recap a little bit of the news we talked about yesterday, talk about the news that was released today, and we'll go over the price action and kind of what I'm looking for here over the next couple hours. So we'll go ahead and jump right into it, guys. So the very first thing is, as you can see, we did not form a V-shaped recovery, which would have been the best scenario for the bulls if we had sort of pulled back from here, the 7,000 level, had a brief touch down here, the 6,400, around the lows, and saw a very quick surge of bullish volume after the bearish climax of volume, and we recovered to a more acceptable price level there over the 6,800 level. That would have been the best case scenario. However, that did not happen. I'm not surprised, just given how monumentous this move was. However, we are still oversold on the RSI levels. I know a couple of people are looking forward to a small bounce there over that 6,500. I'll just kind of talk about my perspective a little bit today and what my trade plans are. So the very first thing is, if you watched yesterday's video, we talked about what helped fuel this move right here was the Goldman Sachs, announcing that they were not going to continue with opening a cryptocurrency trading desk at their firm, and that was a pretty bearish indicator, and people did not like that at all, which makes sense because of the fact the negative statement it makes towards overall cryptocurrency adoption. It's just not a good look there that they backed out of that. They obviously don't think cryptocurrency has what it takes, or doesn't have enough money to be made in it, or they don't like the fact of how unstable it is. You could just take your pick of reasons, but the main point is they're going to discontinue that program. And so we saw this this retracement here. Now today, Coinbase announced that they were looking into a potential partnership with BlackRock in order to open up a cryptocurrency or a Bitcoin ETF, I should say. And here's the image there. Coinbase is exploring a crypto ETF and has sought help from $6 trillion Wall Street giant BlackRock. And so will this go anywhere? We don't know. Right now, I'm going to say it doesn't matter until it does. And you guys are like, obviously it doesn't matter till it does, but right now we've gotten too many ifs in this market. If Goldman Sachs can open up a cryptocurrency trading desk, or if the Bitcoin ETF is approved. Right now we need to focus on just pure price action and of course we'll stay on the lookout for any potential catalyst, but that's not what's most important right now. It's the volume, it's where the bulls are at, it's where the bears are at, and it's just focusing on that. I just realized I do not have volume on my chart right now. Throw that on there. There we go. And so guys, yeah, so I'll just go ahead and jump right back into this. So that's the news that we had so far. Stay pending. It would be great if it occurred, but we'll wait for further continuation on that and focus on the bulls proving themselves right now. So on the hourly on Bitcoin, if we've had a brief consolidation here, I talked about that little pop, called that live on Twitter before it occurred. If you want to go see that, essentially what we had was the bullish divergence on the RSI. We had a little bit of long scooping there on the Bitfinex long chart, and the shorts were starting to have a bit of a rounded top on shorter time frames. So they covered a little bit, which helped cause that pop. Of course, we rejected the 6,500 because there aren't many people accumulating per se at this level, and we weren't able to continue further. And now we're just kind of waiting continuation on that. Right now, one thing you need to keep in mind is you're saying, well, why not buy this? Because the RSI hit a low of 10, right? And right now we're sitting here at the 30. We're still pretty low on the RSI. But keep in mind that when you see extreme bearish price action or a bearish trend, you need to adjust your RSI expectations lower. So instead of being focused on the 30-70 range, I'd focus a lot lower, like maybe even like the 1550 or the 1030 or 1040. That would be the range I'd focus on, because of the fact if we're seeing strong selling pressure, the RSI isn't going to ever make it back towards the middle or the top of the normal 30-70 RSI high-low channel, right? So make sure you're adjusting your expectations lower and you're not just buying at the 30, because honestly, anything near the 40 I would be selling on shorter term time frames. So that's the first thing I want to talk about here, is to adjust your RSI expectation. And right now, as far as consolidation, I'm going to wait for the bulls to prove themselves and to put in some pivot lows here. That's really what we need, and also volume. If you look at the daily chart, you'll see that we've had just 2 days of overwhelmingly bearish volume. What we do need to see is some bullish volume come in here and help rescue these lows. Of course, we're going to probably form an inside bar here. If we can maybe form that and start to curl to the upside, that'd be a good a good sign on positive volume. But guys, it's going to take a lot to get out of this daily trend that we've been having. And right now, that's really what we need to see. We dumped too far too fast for this to be another retracement. This is a pretty bearish sign. So let me go ahead and just draw this trend line for you. I'm just going to start it from back in February right here. and going a little bit into what I'm seeing here on the daily chart. And I've talked about it in past videos. So essentially what we have here is this, you could call it a bear flag, you can call it a descending wedge, you can call it whatever you want. But the fact of the matter is, we're between these two, the horizontal support level, and we're seeing lower highs on the daily, lower highs as the sellers are moving down. So the sellers are pushing pressure downwards, down onto the to the buyers, right? So we're seeing lower highs forming as the sellers are moving down. However, the buyers, the bulls, are staying in relatively the same place. So eventually we're going to reach a point of consolidation where the lows are so close to the support, we're either going to have to break upwards and we start forming higher highs and higher lows, or we're going to break downwards and form lower lows. Right now, given the track record of how many lower highs we've seen here, on the daily so far, it's much more likely for the bears to win out. And also given the overextension we've seen, through 2018, or excuse me, through 2017 all the way till now, it seems as if the edge is for the, so I apologize for that in the background. But it seems like the edge is for the bears right now. So the price action will most likely continue to tighten here in this area, and we're waiting to see where that's going to end up. Right now, we need to see more momentum for the bulls, essentially because of how monumental this dump was following this strong bullish. We saw the lows being scooped up every single day. We saw a steadily increasing RSI. We saw the volume that we needed. Because of the fact that we gave all this back so quickly, chances are, just like we weren't able to make it to the previous high, we won't recover to this one. So if you're looking at a high somewhere right in here, right around that 6,800 level, which would seem likely just based on how far we've retraced every single time, if you want to look at the 61.8 fib retracement level, if we're looking at a lower high like that, we're still sitting here close to the lows. So I recommend being patient. I don't think just because of the fact that we're so low on the RSI on the intraday timeframes means that this is a good buy. Yes, we may see a bounce, but the range that the bulls can capitalize on if you're not trading intraday is getting smaller and smaller. So make sure you're being very careful with intraday price ranges and staying sensitive to different changes and articles that come out. I'm going to give this a little bit more time to develop, and sure, we'll probably end up seeing, consolidation right here. Maybe we might see a pop up here as we get above that 6,500 level. And on the daily chart, though, that's not going to mean anything, right? We have so many resistance levels we need to get back over before we start to form those higher lows, head to the top of that descending wedge trend line that we're looking for. So right now, this price action, if we don't break 6,800, is essentially irrelevant until we get over that level and start heading back towards 7,000. This is just chopping around before we break down further, essentially. And as bearish as that sounds, that's a scenario we're in right now. So I'll continue to monitor it, day in, day out. I'm gonna continue to focus on this. Right now, I want to see a break over 6,500 for potential consolidation. See if we can't see more bullish volume there on the daily chart, and then I'll look at potential trade opportunities setting up. But I'm not eager to jump into this right now. I want to give it a little bit more time to develop, and that's my perspective right now, given yesterday's price action. I'll jump over here to the Bitfinex longs and Bitfinex shorts and talk about that real briefly here before I wrap it up for you guys. So right now on this sort of accumulation here on the Bitfinex open long positions, this accumulation was once we hit the bottom around here. This was around 6,300. We hit the bottom. Long started slowly buying this up because of the fact that we were so oversold. They're trying to find that equilibrium, that balance point between the longs and the shorts, or the longs and the supply and demand, essentially. So the longs increased the demand because we had so much overwhelming supply. And as you can see, we've been accumulating here for a couple hours. However, in the price action, nothing's changed. We've just been horizontal. So essentially all we've done is balanced out the bearish or the bullish volume with the bearish volume, right? So we really haven't moved anywhere. If you look at the shorts, we've been slowly, steadily increasing. Sure, we've had these small tops where we had some short covers like this, right? That's helped support the price a little bit, or helped maybe a pop like we saw earlier, but nothing significant has happened here. If you zoom out and you look on the Bitfinex short chart on the hourly, actually we'll go to the daily. You can see we're almost at record highs in record time. Like we've moved up so fast in shorts here. We haven't done that moved up this quickly since back in January, right here. So we've recovered in the short so quickly. We're already back on the 40,000 open interest level. And if we break that, we could be at all-time highs for Bitfinex shorts. So keep a close eye on this. It's clear on this time frame the shorts aren't worried after that extremely bearish breakdown that we've had. Like I said, the supply is coming down to meet the demand. It's likely that we do see a break to lows here if any sort of bad news hits. I would be surprised if we're able to reclaim back to the over 7,000 level so easily. We still have 6,500 to get through and 6,800 to get through. So I'm just remaining patient because of the fact that I can only trade long only for right now. And I'm continuing to monitor this because if we break to new highs on shorts, this is a trade idea I'm going to talk about a little bit later if you're thinking to evolve, but I'll give you guys a little taster of what I'm thinking. If we break over the 40,000 level here on Bitfinex shorts and all-time highs, and we see Bitcoin break down below this trend line, say below 5,800, if that were to occur at the same time, and we see a rapid decrease towards 5.5 or 5,000 even, or maybe even 4.8, 4.9, the chances are the shorts will be so high there that it'll be an unbalanced position. The longs we need to correct that equilibrium, and we might see the quote unquote short squeeze that everyone's looking for, which is pretty much the height of bullish expectations right now. If that were to occur when these shorts reach those highs, you could see potential $1,000 move, 20% move in Bitcoin in a day at those price levels. Now that's way down the line, guys. We have to see shorts increase. We have to see a lot of support being broken. That is a trade idea I'm kind of tossing around the back of my mind here, looking for just intraday trades for scalping the momentum. But that's pretty much all I got here for today. Just wanted to talk a little about in general what I'm looking at here on the charts and what I'm waiting for on Bitcoin. If you guys have any questions, just definitely comment below. Hit me up on Twitter, shoot me an email. If you want to join my private Discord, shoot me a PM. I can get you information on that. And if you want to support me, you can look on Patreon. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. You have a great rest of your day. Continue to develop your bot mentality. That is the trading mentality to eliminate your emotions and trade like a machine, guys. I'm out here. Deuces.